Killer Tremolo Pedal
for £10. Hello people, Joe from Hello Taylor Effects here. Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Joyo Tremolo. In today's video we're going to use the 5 Cats pedals mod kit to modify a standard Joyo Tremolo pedal for $10.99. That's a hell of a bargain. Stick around to the end and you'll get to hear how this pedal sounds with its extra 2 controls against the standard version. Cheers. Before we start onto today's actual modification, I'd like to say a massive sorry to 5 Cats pedals, because I haven't actually spoke to them about me filming this video. I am just cracking on and filming it. So I'm really sorry, and if you have an issue with me recording this mod and how to do it, then please let me know and I'll take this video down. We're going to do this all live together. Now, I don't actually know what this mod kit entails. I haven't looked at it at all. The only thing I do know is that I'm not going to use these 2 yellow knobs because I've refinished my enclosure and they would look out of place. So as you see, the kit comes with a scan me code. So I'm going to take my phone and I'm just going to scan the QR code. Together we'll go through this and see what comes up. I hope this makes for a good video. Right, so this is the awesome PDF you get. Now, I'm not going to show this PDF just out of respect for 5 Cats pedals. So I'm going to move this to the side. But as you can see, scanning the QR code works really well. And this PDF looks incredibly well made. It does actually have pictures of the kit and what you need to do inside. So it's real precise. It tells you the exact resistors that you're going to need to pull and so on. So let's get into it. Let's remove this the kit itself from the packet and we'll see what we get with it. Bearing in mind this costs next to nothing. The pedal costs like £18, maybe £19, and the kit cost about £10, which is basically nothing. So I've got rid of R2
5 hours later.
knobs, or what are the
6.5 hours later.
Yeah, so I've got rid of our 2 knobs. You get 2 pots, which are going to be our extra 2 pots. I've drilled the enclosure, so they're going to be situated where they're situated. You also get this 4.7 UF cap. It's a suntan. That's a good one. They're expensive. And 2 resistors. Now, first things first, it said to remove R1. Now, R1 is at the side of this IC. There's 3 of them. R1 is this bottom one right here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and remove that like I do on all videos. I'll draw your attention either to my... well, go straight to my BD2 mod video and you'll see how I remove components from the board of a pedal if you're interested in that. Next, it says to attach 2 wires to this. These wires are going to go to a 10k pot and a 47k resistor. So I'm just going to go ahead and sort out that pot. After attaching the first wire, of course, I've realised that the wire gauge I'm using, which I'm going to say is 26, gauge 26, is a little bit too thick to fit through the PCB holes. So I'm just going to show you how I slim down a wire. So first of all, it's stranded wire. I'll flatten it out using my snips, and then that sort of gives you a fan effect. And I'm going to cut half of the strands away. Now, if this seems obvious to some people, it really wasn't obvious to me for the longest time. So anyway, cut half of them away, and then that way there's less strands. So when I twist it up, you actually have a thinner wire. I'm going to go ahead and tin that, and then I can use it. And of course, to tin it, I'm going to wet the tip. Thank you, Jamie, for reminding me about that in a message today. And here's where Hello Sailor Joe comes out. Instead of using the 47k resistor that's provided with this kit, which there's nothing wrong with, by the way. It's a carbon comp resistor. It's really nice. Carbon film resistor. Actually, carbon film resistor. I've actually got this tantalum resistor. These are like stupidly expensive. So some of them can get up to like 10 or 15 pounds for one resistor, which is ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and use that in this kit just because I have it, and I'm going to sell this pedal afterwards, so I want people to know that they're getting value for money. Not that that isn't value for money, but I just kind of like knowing that this is in there. Flame me in the comments telling me it doesn't matter what resistor you use as long as the value's the same. Most probably in this application, I agree, but I don't care. We have our first pot and the 47k resistor attached to the board. And next, we're going to be changing C5, which is, let me get this right, somewhere around here. There's C5 right there. So I'm going to switch out C5. If you would like to see, again, how I take these components out, please do watch that BD2 video. Now that our new cap is fitted, the guide actually tells us to test the pedal to make sure that it's working, which mine is. So then we can move on to the next step. One part of a side note is that I don't know if this is, if you're going to be able to see this here, but the cap itself protrudes a little bit higher, or just on parity with the actual flat part of our pot, which means that it's going to be butted right up against the case. So I'm going to make sure that when I rebuild this pedal, that if I took out any spacers or washers, I'm going to put them back in, and if I didn't, I'm actually going to put some in to make sure that, that this doesn't hit the top of the enclosure. Next on the cards, we're going to change the 33k resistor here on the top side of this IC next to D3. I think it's R16, but can't confirm that. I'll take it off and have a look. Now this has changed for a 33k resistor. I don't actually have any cool boutique, quote unquote, or vintage 33k resistors to hand. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the one that was sent with the pedal. So that 33k resistor has now been changed. Let me straighten that up while we're talking. Has now been changed. It does say to go ahead and test the pedal now. I'm not going to do that, mainly because I've got to pick my daughter up from school in approximately 25 minutes and I want to get this done beforehand. Moving on. The next mod is to remove C6, which is located here, and replace it with nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Coming to the end now, and the next mod is to remove this trim pot right here and replace it with this pot that we're going to mount externally. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that and then replace it. It does actually say on the guide which wires or which lugs of the pot go where with regards to the PCB. So when you buy this mod, which I'm sure you're all going to rush out and buy this mod, you'll be able to see how it's orientated. That's the final pot now replaced. On a side note, the board that I've got is different from the board on the tutorial. So looking at it, the trim pot is orientated 90 degrees out on this board, and it was a different trim pot. So as we're looking at these trim pots, you can see that one side will have two legs and the other side will have one leg. That is the wiper. The single leg on this version is the one that's most inboard. So if you imagine these are the outboards, I'm talking in chip terms again, as I ever do, apologies. But if you imagine these are the outboards, the leg that's most inboard is the center wiper of your pot. So it attaches to the very center of your pot. And then the other two, you know, if you wire it backwards, does it really matter if when you turn it down, the amplitude gets more? Not really. But the main thing is getting that center wiper, because on the 5 cats pedals, 9 cats, I'm adding 4 cats, sorry mate. On the 5 cats pedals drawing, the wiper is at the top, when really on this one, it's on the inboard side. Apart from that, sounds good. On a side note, if anyone's interested, this is how the pedal looks. I went with these Bakelite knobs and some smaller style knobs just because we're close to the foot switch. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's aged gold, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments of my refinish of this pedal.